Today I fucked up by telling my girlfriend I'm cool with her inviting her new friend over. Too long did not read. My girlfriend invited over this new friend she only met today, and I think they already have strong romantic feeling for each other and I'm kinda left as the third wheel. I, am 19, visit my girlfriend, F21, once a week because she lives like 45 minutes away from me. The time we always spend is magical, and I like this girl a lot. I always drive over and despite having a really crappy car with a CRN that doesn't even work. I don't mind making the drive over. And it's always me who makes the drive, she's only driven over once or twice. I respect the fact that she doesn't always feel up for the task, especially considering she's on disability and isn't the best mentally, anxiety, depression, etc. Today I was over and took a nap with her, and when I woke up she told me that some girl who she met on Instagram who lived in the same city as her wanted to come over and get her makeup done. She asked me if it's cool if she invites her over and I said she could. A half hour later her friend arrives. She's this kinda tall 18-year-old girl with short hair. And immediately off the bat she wouldn't leave my girlfriend alone. She kept complimenting her, and kept telling her life stories, touching her, etc. She later went on this super passionate rant about how women are beautiful angels and just the most gorgeous creatures and that she was no exception. My girlfriend is pansexual, so I know she was really blushing. She never said a word to me until moments later. We ordered some food and all sat on my girlfriend's bed and watched some TV and smoked a blunt. She continued to praise my girlfriend and really kinda take up space and kinda push me out the way. My girlfriend was then resting on my arm. And her fiends just starts rubbing her body very gently and softly. And getting very close to her. After like an hour of this and me feeling kinda jealous, they both get up and decide to smoke some more and do each other's makeup in the living room. My girlfriend asked me if I wanted to join them and I told him I was good. I was insanely high and couldn't even move. Now that I look back I feel like they were trying to get me super high on purpose. I was already very high and sleepy. So I pretended to sleep. Kinda a half sleep so to say. I was just thinking to myself during that how this girl is kinda everything I wish I was. She's very extroverted, good at making you feel good, and just warm and bubbly. While I'm very shy, quiet, reserved, and only comfortable with people once I get to know them. Hours later I got up, and midway through my sleep, I overheard them trying to figure out if I was sleeping or not. When I woke up fully, I walked to the restroom to take a piss, and I saw her friend on top of my GF, and it looked like they were kissing and I feel like I could have been mistaking. But I really don't know. As soon as she saw me though she immediately sat back down beside her. She even grinned at me and said, "Hey." So I am now sitting in her bedroom all alone feeling kinda empty. All the work and gas money I put into the relationship, cutting back on my work hours so I could see her more, feels all worthless. I plan on staying the night and then just not bother talking to her once I get back home tomorrow. I'll work on myself, go to college, and really improve who I am. And maybe I find someone who loves me and won't replace me. Side note. No, I'm not having a three-way. Her friend I am not in one bit physically attracted to. And if anyone in advance told me what was going on maybe I could have had an open mind. But she did it behind my back and that's why I'm hurt. I left because they both fell asleep in the living room. I'm gonna try and recover from this. The drive was extra long because of a car accident on the freeway. I'm home now, I'm going to do a workout even though it's midnight. And I'm just gonna mentally prepare for what's gonna be a very painful week as all this shit slowly sinks in. Update. After ignoring her all day, I basically decided to confront her. I told her everything I saw, and how underappreciated I felt, especially with all the work I put in. I never told her about my depression and anxiety problems. But I basically revealed to her that there's something I have, but I don't like talking about them. And she said, sad that of all people you didn't think I'd understand. She also claimed that she wasn't pushing me to the side and that I wasn't a third wheel. She was only giving her friend all the attention because she didn't want her to feel like a third wheel. I told her it's fine to be frustrated with me, but I want to talk about this like adults. See you in the gym, king. She's literally cheating on you in front of you. Dude, get out of there. No, you didn't fuck up. Now you know and can move on. Instead of ghosting, I think it would be better in the long run if you at least tell her how you feel and why you're leaving. I promise you in 10 years you'll think better of yourself if you do. If you want to work on yourself, start now. Don't run away. Be better. Be a grown-up with the confidence to explain yourself. Man. I've been in nearly this exact situation, just, like 25 years ago. Just imagine everyone grunge and early 90s goth, and it's the same scene. And my advice is just to get out now. Make a clean break. It'll hurt for a shorter time if you don't drag it out, and you will meet someone else. Damn, I'm sorry bro. It's gonna hurt, but it's best if you separate from her. If she's that disrespectful to do that while you are there after all the effort you went through, then she's not the one for you. To be honest, I wouldn't even stay the night, I'd just go home and work on moving forward. You deserve and will find someone better. Stay strong, king. Today I fucked up by walking in on my parents hosting a swingers party when I was 12. I first found out when I was 12. Growing up, my parents would regularly take me to parties where there might be some other kids of the couples hanging out in the basement or rec room where I would join them. I was like 5'8" when we do this, so I never really had hints of what was going on. I just figured that the adults are doing boring grown-up stuff and the kids are eating junk food and watching movies until we fell asleep, and our parents would finally GT us in the middle of the night and took us home. Later on, my parents started actually hosting the parties. When I was a bit older, they would highly encourage me to go and spend the weekend at friends' houses. I knew it was odd when on Thursday evening they would say, "Hey, you should see if you can spend the weekend at Ryan's. You haven't seen him in a while." But I just kind of accepted it and was more focused on going to my friend's house for the weekend. During one of these sleepovers, I left my skateboard at home because we thought it was going to rain. The weather later changed, so I walked the 15 minutes home to go and get it around 9 p.m. I noticed a lot of cars on the street but didn't think that they were at our house. I unlocked the front door and walked right in and noticed all the shoes and was pretty confused. I could hear some noise coming from our pool out back, so I went to investigate. Our backyard is pretty secluded and hidden from our neighbors. When I walked out to the pool deck, I saw 5-6 couples, all completely naked, right in the middle of their activities. In the pool that I had swam in the day before and in the hot tub, on the deck chairs which I had sat in multiple times. I was shocked and horrified. My parents saw me, but I just walked right out, leaving my skateboard. I went back to my friend's house and stayed quiet for the rest of the weekend. I put off going home until Sunday evening, but when I did, they sat me down and we basically talked and answered my questions until like 1 a.m. I honestly cried a bit at first, but to their credit, they were completely open and honest with me, and by the end I felt a lot more comfortable with the concept. After that they started to line me I could stay at home during the parties. They just let me know beforehand and ask if I wanted to go to a friend's house or stay at home. Too long did not read. Came home early from a sleepover and found my parents in the middle of an orgy with over a dozen of their friends. Seems kind of fucked leaving kids in a basement while bunch of couples are fucking above them. Never heard them or anything. That's pretty fucked up that they would all bring their little kids and just leave them in the basement while the orgy roared upstairs. Nothing wrong with parents doing crazy sex stuff, but leave the kids elsewhere, geez. I'm glad you felt okay about it after your parents talked to you, though. Your parents have terrible bedroom etiquette if they were explaining to a 12-year-old they could stay in the same house with an orgy going on as long as they locked themselves in their room. It reminds me of how drug-addicted parents will tell their kids to do this. Location flag revolving light. Pro-swingers would never. My grandparents were swingers and fuck, they never would have done that. WTAF. Here's the real question. Is your dad your actual biological father? Thinking face. Taking you as a child to a stingers party is totally fucked. What were they thinking? Today I fucked up by breaking my toddler's arm by dancing with her. I was working remotely today, and while I was taking a break, I started dancing with my youngest daughter. I was spinning her around with her arm and she started to fall, so I held onto her with some extra grip so she didn't hit the ground. She immediately started crying and ran to her mom. I didn't hear anything break, but she refused to let anyone touch it as she cradled her injured arm. We saw a large bruise start to form. I thought the worst and suspected I broke it and was brought to tears thinking I hurt her like that. My wife looked up the best hospital in the local area as I prepared a bag to spend the rest of the day in the emergency room. I drove us downtown to the and had to park a few blocks away. A nurse saw me carrying her and asked what was wrong and gave me directions to I filled out the paperwork, careful to not disturb her arm. We get called back to triage and the knowledgeable doctor said he knew exactly what was wrong after I told him what happened. In a matter of seconds, he grabbed her elbow and twisted it. I was sitting there horrified, as she had not received any x-rays yet. Some context to my background: I've been skateboarding for 20 years and I have broken my ankles a handful of times and seen someone else break a fibula near their ankle and watched one of my friends attempt to set their ankle in place. I thought of that night of some drunken friends attempting to set a fibula compound fracture as the doctor twisted her arm. Despite thinking the worst, I kept my composure. He gave her succor and she was immediately using her arm again and the bruising was gone. He explained that the tendon will rotate on their elbow and this is fairly common among toddlers. We are out of the hospital in just under an hour of being there and before my wife could get off work and drive to the hospital. Too long did not read. Today I fucked up by spending the whole morning thinking I broke my daughter's arm by dancing with her, but she just had nursemaid's elbow. I never want to dance with her again. So you're never gonna dance again, because guilty feet have got no rhythm? You poor thing. I'm glad she is okay. I hope you dance with her again, I'm sure she will want you to as well. You are probably more traumatized than her. Accidents happen and you immediately to the doctor for care. Don't be too hard on yourself. As soon as I started reading the story I knew it was gonna be a nursemaid's elbow. You can still dance with her, just stick to the waltz and the good old two-step, and leave the break dancing for when she's older and has more rhythm, rolling on the floor laughing. I broke my little son's leg accidentally, so I know how you felt. He was sitting behind me, sharing a bicycle. I said, "Keep your legs out, away from the wheel," but he put his leg into the spokes. Fixing nursemaid elbow is one of my favorite things to do because it's usually over and the kid is pain-free and using the arm before they even really knew what happened. Parents stare at you like you have just pulled off a magic trick. It has a classic mechanism and is usually very easy to diagnose on history alone. Today I fucked up by making it immediately awkward with my new gym instructor. So I haven't been training for a year and gained quite a few kilos. So this morning I went to this new gym to sign up for a plan. Enter the gym instructor. Tall, blonde, in her 40s, obvious military background, fit as hell. She immediately has me go through all the humiliating body exams about my body fat etc., and I just want to disappear. Anyway, she then gets close to me and says, "I can help you with your objectives but you have to exactly what I say. I hope you have no issues in doing what a woman says." And there I answered, half naked with my gross belly sticking out, "Hell no, that's actually my favorite thing." I wasn't even trying to be funny or anything, it was actually a spontaneous answer. Long silence ensued. Then she went to get the paper ready and insisted on being paid in advance. Too long did not read. After 5 minutes of knowing my new hot fitness instructor, I immediately made it awkward with an involuntarily sexual remark and will probably face hell in the next few months. Edited for spelling. Sorry, I'm an Italian guy with an Italian phone. She made it awkward. Your response was appropriate and funny emo. You're gonna get fit faster. And you'll probably enjoy it. Where's the problem? If it was awkward, it started with her effectively saying, "Hope you're not sexist," without any prompt. To be fair, she shouldn't have made that comment. Friendly reminder that losing weight happens like 90% in the kitchen, so unless she gives you a meal plan, I would consider speaking with a nutrition coach, not sure what the name for it is in English. I'm a fitness instructor. People make innuendos all the time. Make, female, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't stress out about it.